Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back. So today's video is something a viewer of mine requested, and I thought that if I'm going to give out this information, why not give out a few more extra tips and tricks about it. So today's video is about plundering Origem. And I've noticed that somebody a long time ago did make a guide about Origem plundering, but I think another one here might be helpful for you guys because I've caught up with the latest content. So I'll be giving even more tips and tricks at the end of the video. So do stay tuned. And if you enjoy this content, if it's helping you guys out, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be putting out more games and stuff as well, so there's something for everybody to enjoy. Anyways, let's get into the video. So before we can talk about plundering Origem, what I want to have you guys do is fulfill a few prerequisites, okay? So the first one is that you need to have Doomsday. Doomsday is something that's like essential part of this build that I'm about to tell you about. So because he has this ability to plunder Origem. It says here underneath invasion and plunder. So first thing is to have Doomsday. Second thing is to have a city hall that's either level 25 or above that. So I am pretty much sitting on top of level 35 now, I'd say, because this new city level is something that unlocks further down in the game. Don't worry if you don't have these right now. If you are at 25, you should be able to cap the node that is needed for your T-frame. That's also a prerequisite. Otherwise, without a level 25 city hall, you can't actually reach 0-point energy era. And once you come up to level 25 city hall, you need to unlock this node, which is the next prerequisite that allows the Doomsday T-frame to plunder Origem. If you can read the description, it says unlocks the function to allow assigned army excluding Central Titan to plunder Origem when raiding cities at a percentage up to 100%. So when it's maxed, it's up to 100%. And what this means is that if you put Doomsday inside your Central Titan, it will no longer plunder Origem. But if you put it inside of your first, third, or even your fourth Titan, then it will do so. So these are the prerequisites that you need to know about before you have the ability to plunder Origem. And with this T-frame, you don't need to be armed plunder in order to plunder Origem, as armed plunder gives the ability for Central Titan only to plunder Origem. Because right now I'm running armed plunder, you can see that this description comes here for me. This Titan can plunder Origem when raiding cities, and I have another T-frame inside of it, because if I put Doomsday in here, that would be a waste. Which is why I'm running Crimson Blaze here, and this I will show you in a bit. Now we will move on to the part of the video where I show you how much Origem I am plundering with Doomsday, right? Okay, so here we are at the plundering part of the video, and a friend of mine whose farm this is, Damned City Bank, he has agreed to help us out in this video, so a shout out to my guy for this. And a few things before we start. So we go into our first Titan dock. We have the Doomsday in here, and you can see I am right now loaded with T9s. We don't want to do that because City Wall kills off your units. It doesn't matter if you're hitting a farm or something. So we're going to replace these with T1 tanks. The reason for that is that T1 tanks have the most amount of carry capacity, right? And we want to maximize our hit potential for something like this to be like super effective when we're bringing in Origem. The other thing is this hunting item, low fuel consumption, which reduces fuel cost by 5 when attacking other cities, lasts for 15 minutes. So this is something that will unlock for you guys later on in the game. Don't worry if you don't have this. This is just an extra tip I'm going to give you, that this is a huntsman item class, which is a class that unlocks in season 3. So once we have these two things settled in, we select the Doomsday that we placed in, and we attack. Now you can see that we have a lot of speed going on as well. That's the first hit. And I bought in 1,000,000 Origem with just one hit, right? Now this may differ for you depending on where you are in the game. I can bring in 1,000,000 per hit. So I start hitting, and with the 5% fuel cost reduction, that's going to stack once I bounce around Doomsday into my different titans. And you'll see in the end how much Origem I can hoard using this method if I have like one functional farm, which I have, by the way, recommended that you guys build time and time again, so you don't have to buy Origem in the game. You can just use this method. This is something that would also save you money, it will save you time, it will save you effort. So put in a bit of that effort into raising up your own farm. Or if you have a guy like Soul, whose farm I'm using, then of course you hit the jackpot, because he provides me with what I need from time to time. So not everybody is going to be this lucky. It's just a strat that I've been using to maximize my time in Nexus War, and I'm super thankful to my guy for this. By the way, shout out to him again for this, because this is a huge buff. When you have that much Origem, you'll be surprised how quickly that Origem burns off when you reach up to higher levels, especially during season 3. So I'm going to fast forward the video and just stop it in on times when I switch Doomsday onto my other titans to show you that this works so long as it's not the central titan, so that you guys know what exactly I am doing. There are no more doubts about this, because some people have been having doubts about why it's not working. They bought Doomsday, but their Doomsday does not plunder, which is why this video covers absolutely everything you would need regarding plundering. One small tidbit of information I will also give is that once you're using T1s, just make sure from time to time to go in that one of them are let's say falling down, right? So you just click and refresh, so you have the units back. T1s are super easy to heal up, don't cost much resource, are really easy to maintain. So just do that from time to time when you're using this strat, and you bring in the maximum amount of gains that you can. Okay, so we are now done with the first Titan dock, and you can see I already have 20 million Origem, right? So now we switch Doomsday onto the third Titan, like this, and switch up the units again to T1 tanks. It doesn't matter what hero type you have, if they even are infantry type, they can still equip the T1 tanks, don't worry about that. Then we start the attack once more, just like this. This is the latest one. You can see that it's still going through and giving me 1 million plus per hit. Make sure you do this when you have the maximum amount of fuel, like 1000. So I have max amount of fuel and I'm gaining really huge amounts of Origem, which then I can easily burn on whatever research or construction update that I needed inside of the game. Okay, so you can see that we have run out of fuel on 2 Titans so far, and I have 45.1 million Origem. We still have 1 more Titan to go. So let's go back into our city and move Doomsday to the 3rd Titan slot. And here we go. Okay, so this is the final Titan dock that unlocks for you. 1, 2, 3, or 4. I'm sorry, it was the 4th one. I said 3rd. But once again, loaded up with T1s instead of T8s or T9 units. Deaths do get caused even if you're attacking a small lousy farm with like no defenses. So you don't want to lose those troops. You want to trade those in for other such sort of damages or rewards. You can see here it's working, and I'm bringing in 1 million still. Okay, cool. Up till this point, we've been able to rob close to 58.9 million Origem from 3 Titans, which is a huge amount. Now, since if you're advanced economy, this is technically where you would stop. But if you are armed plunder, you can take this a bit further. You don't need to put Doomsday in here. You can just use T1 tank builds. So let me just put this back where it belongs, and now we put in T1 tanks into this. Now a side note, right? What I'm about to do is I'm going to be using armed plunders policy to rob further Origem. But the thing is that when you have a Doomsday like mine, technically Doomsday is bringing in a lot more Origem, and that is because my Doomsday is a bit above 0 point energy. It's in dark energy era, which is something that will unlock in season 3 for you guys. It further amplifies the amount of Origem that you are going to plunder. You can see that with Central I'm only getting 632k per hit, but with Doomsday I was getting 1 million. That is the reason why. Okay, so now for the final part of the video. You can see that we plundered 75 million Origem, and which is a huge amount, by the way. We're out of fuel and everything, but just something I want to tell you guys, that this much Origem might be like very impressive for players that are just starting out Nexus 4, but in truth, when you come up to the level that I am on, it's not a lot. In fact, this can all be burned out in just one research. I can show you that if you want. If you go into the Battletech pre-enhancement, and the last node I'm on before pre-enhancement is Barrage, but at pre-enhancement you can see that I will need 72 million Origem to complete this one research. But this is something that unlocks the T9 plus units, which are very powerful units inside of the game. So this is why I've stressed time and time again that please guys, please put in the effort to make a farm account so you don't feel cheated when you come into this part of the game, so you don't feel like, hey, this was all pay to win from the start and we've been cheated and this is all nonsense. Because I'm giving these tips and tricks out to you guys so you can get ahead of others. It's just just extra spicy stuff. Now, like I promised you guys in the beginning, here are some extra tips to even take this further. So you come into the storage building, which is the thing that gives you protection over your basic resources. You can see that once we reach the tier point, which is above level 25, you get the option to plunder even more Origem. Right? It's like plus 10 per hit. Then at tier 2 it's 20, tier 3 it's 30, tier 4 it's 40, and tier 5 it's 50. I'm going to unlock tier 2 soon, which should give me even more Origem per hit, and I could even push this past 100 million just at tier 2. But we're not gonna stop there. There's another thing that can push this even further. Inside of your policy committee, when you reach season 3, then you will unlock these decrees. There is a gold decree that gives you buff for plundering Origem that takes it even further. So we're talking even more amounts of Origem here. So I hope you guys understand that Doomsday is not a bad choice. In fact, it is the most essential Titan to have inside of the game. Even more so that Godfall than that was released later on. There is a video I have on Godfall. If you haven't watched it, you can go and watch it, and I will link another link to the decree portion, in which I have covered all of the decrees that are currently available inside of season 3. They may give more when season 4 releases, which it hasn't. The game is up to season 3 at this point, at the point where I'm making this video. Maybe in season 4 some things might change, new things might be introduced, and I'll make videos on that as well, so don't worry about that. And I hope that this one was helpful to you. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you around.